I love this time together. Thank you so much for being here, your beautiful presence. Let us begin with our centering breath. So just comfortable for a moment, sitting up onto something so the hips are level with or even higher than the knees. Softly close your eyes and let your awareness come to your breath and just notice your breath. As you're noticing your breath, notice the rhythm of your breath, inviting the rhythm of your breath to slow. Just settle into a nice, even, steady flow. We're going to bring our arms in to the movement of the breath. And we'll let them come by our side and exhale here. Then inhale, float the arms up, let the palms touch overhead, and hands come down the center line. And then inhale, float them up, and do what feels good here. You could stretch them up, it could be just softly floating up, you could look up, and then exhale, coming down the center line. And begin to follow your breath rhythm. So following that nice steady flow. As the arms float up, you can stretch, you can reach, you can let it be soft. As the arms come down, let your chin soften down. Just two more. Just really moving into the rhythm of your breath. The movement through the arms. This is our centering breath. Bringing our awareness, like gathering in your awareness, your attention to this breath, to this moment. Taking one more circling. And then palms touch. Hands down the center line and pausing at heart center. Turning palms inward. Inner gaze to heart center, and just a moment to check in, just to ask yourself, how am I feeling? How am I feeling in this moment? Unwilling to judge, really inviting an inner listening to open. Our practice together is authentic to what we need in this moment, what our body, our minds, our hearts need. By listening here to what is present, to then setting an intention, what you need through this practice today, how it can serve you, strengthening, awakening, calming, having present. Set your intention. Your next inhale, draw intention deep into your body, your mind, and deepest into heart center. Beautiful. Gently release your hands, arms by your side. Gently float your eyes open to gaze, soft eyes. Okay. Child's pose. Let us begin in this lovely shape. You might choose to have the bolster underneath you. I recommend it. You might choose not to. If you have the bolster underneath you, you might want to sit on it so it can help your knees go a little wider and your hips open more, or you might want it more under your chest. We are going to extend each leg back in turn, so make sure there's room behind you. And just settling in here, especially when we have support underneath us, we can really invite a nice, gentle opening through the hips. Right here at the beginning of our practice, as we move into the hips today, we can go even deeper. Our strengthening, our mobility, stretching. So in the beginning, just feeling this nice, gentle release. And if your head is turned, turn it to the right. Otherwise, it might be directly down. And as you're settling in here, just for about 5 more breaths, see if you can lengthen out your exhale. Making the exhale a little bit longer than the inhale allows for a deeper release through the hip joints. Maybe it's in the low back where you're feeling some tightness. So that long exhale allows for a deeper release. Maybe you're feeling tightness. Might even exhale through your mouth, making that release of the breath a little stronger, a little more powerful. Taking 2 more. Making that exhale longer than the inhale. Now this last one, as you exhale, give a little sigh. The deepest release. And then as you are ready, your head is turned to the right. If you were looking directly down, just turn your head to the right. We're going to extend our left leg back behind us. I'll do the opposite so you can see. Extend your left leg back behind you, lengthening it behind you. I'm going to show you what's happening on the other side. So left leg lengthens back. And then your right knee is going to go out a little bit wider. Maybe the right foot is going to go out wider. So it's like a half frog shape. You're going to feel more opening at the front of the hip joints. Your head is turned towards your right knee. If it feels like you're leaning back quite a bit, put something under the front of your left hip. So it just squares the hips a little bit more so that you'll feel a more balanced opening. And so again, as we take some nice deep breaths here, let your exhale be longer than your inhale. Now it's for that deeper release, letting go. Inhale. And long exhale here. 3 more breaths. Inhale. Long exhale. Release the breath. Letting go. 2 more. Inhale. Long exhale here. Letting go. 1 more. Inhale. Long exhale. Very nice. Now slowly coming back to child's pose. So draw your left leg in. And if you're turning your head, turn your head to the left now. So we're getting a nice rotation in the neck, just to what's comfortable for you. Of course, you can put your head directly down as well, which is very quieting for the mind. And so head turned to the left. Taking 5 breaths here. Continuing to have that exhale be longer than the inhale. Again, you might want to exhale through your mouth. Feeling a little more potency. That sense of letting go. Inhaling. Long exhale here. Inhale. Long exhale here. Last one, draw the breath in. Then long exhale, letting the breath. Yeah, very nice. Now, as you're ready, we're going to extend the right leg back behind us, and the right leg is nice and long. And you can curl the toes under. Just make sure that that leg comes right out of the hip joint. Okay, so not out off to the side, but with the toes curled under, you can have a sense of that placement. And then point your toes back. And we'll take our left knee nice and wide. And maybe the foot goes wide, so it's the half frog shape. And if you feel like you're leaning back quite a bit, putting a block under the front or a cushion or blanket under the front of the right hip is going to lift that up, and then you'll feel more of a balanced opening. The hips a little more square. Your head is turned towards your left knee. And then finding with your breath that beautiful flow where the exhale lengthens. Feeling that nice, deeper release, softening, that longer exhale. Let's do 3 more breaths. When your mind wanders away from the breath, no worries. Our yoga practice, a practice in mindfulness. Each time the mind wanders, bring it back. Gently bring it back to focus on this breath. One more here. Inhale. Long exhale, letting go. Well done. Okay, so come back up to child's pose now just for a moment. And then we're going to lift our torso and slide the bolster so that we are sitting on it. Our pelvis is sitting right on it. And we bring our forehead down. You can rest it on the back of your hands. You can rest it on a block or a blanket. And so now, fully sitting onto the cushion or bolster, the knees can go wider. If you don't have a cushion or bolster, or you're just back in the regular child's pose, and just here for 5 breaths, but you'll find even without support, that having opened each side and turned through half frog, that as we come back to center, there's the possibility of more opening, whether it's in the fuller frog sitting onto the bolster or like in the child's pose. Just for 2 more breaths here. Really feeling this nice yawn in the hips, this nice opening through the hip joints. It's so tight from all the sitting that we do. Letting with this last breath here, really, really long exhale to find a sweet opening through both hip joints. Inhale. Maybe even side out. Good. Now just walk the torso up. I'm going to turn to face you. Walking the torso up and sitting. And if it's not comfortable to sit in this shape, just bring your legs in front and sit cross-legged in front. We're just going to come into the torso, into the shoulders and arms. So as you are ready, let's take our arms and open them out to the side and press them back, opening the chest, and float your chin skyward. As you exhale, cross your arms over your chest, chin into your chest, hug the shoulders round the spine. Inhale, open it up, press the arms back, stretch right out of the fingers, chin floats. Exhale, doing great, cross in the opposite manner, hug the shoulders in round the spine. Inhale, open it up, press the arms back. And exhale, cross. And hold here a moment. Walk your fingers onto the back of your shoulders even more. And then float the arms up so we're in the eagle shape with the arms. And that could just be side by side. Yeah, thanks. Just bring the legs forward if this starts to feel like too much in the legs or in the ankle joints. So we're going to hug the forearms like you want to pull them apart. And then you're going to feel a really sweet stretch just at the top of the shoulders, base of the neck. Take a big inhale here at center. As you exhale, take the arms over to your left and chin towards your right. And just experience a little more opening through the neck, rotating the neck. Keep hugging the forearms like you want to pull them apart. Deepen the stretch and then slowly come back to center. Inhale at center. And exhale, take it over to the other side. So forearms are going to the right as chin goes to the left, keeping the chin parallel to the earth best we can. Just give those forearms a little hug. It's going to help you take the chin over a little bit more. And then back to center. As you come to center, hugging the forearms one time here, inhale. And then exhale, release the arms down. Nicely done. Just take one time with the shoulders up to the ears. And then roll them back and down. Good. Now you can keep your feet, toes pointing back, or if you like, curl your toes under. And so for the second time with the arms, if that feels okay, for me, I need to sit up a little bit higher, but I'm going to keep my toes curled under. So just as an option if you like. And inhale, take the arms up, open, lift the chest, press the arms back, stretch out of the fingers. And then exhale, cross the arms in the opposite manner. Just notice where you want to go naturally and go the other way. And then hugging the shoulders, rounding the spine. Walking the hands to the back of the shoulders a little bit more. And bring the spine up to vertical and the forearms together, either side by side or eagle shape. And give a little hug to the forearms. I'm going to peek to the side of my arm so I can see you. Hug the forearms to feel that stretch. Top of the shoulders, base of the neck. Take an inhale here and then exhale, taking the arms over to your right and chin to the left. As best you can, shin stays parallel to the earth, so it's a nice rotation through the neck. And then slowly, very, very slowly, come back to center. With the forearms in here, inhale. And then exhale, forearms over to the left and chin towards the right. Forearms, another little hug, that rooting action. That hug helps you take the chin over a little more. And slowly come back to center. Give the forearms one more hug here. And then let it go. Whew. And let them come down. And again, just one rotation through the shoulder joints. Lovely, lovely. Okay, let's come up. We'll take the block, we'll take the cushion out of the way, whatever you've got underneath you. And come to our cat-cow shape. Take your knees nice and wide. So knees out to the edges of your mat, maybe fingers out to the edges of your mat. And we're going to have our toes pointing back as we exhale, tuck chin, tuck tailbone, and round spine. And then curl the toes under. Lift the tailbone, lift the chest, chin forward, arch spine. Begin to follow your own breath rhythm here, just bringing a little bit of mobility in where we really need it through the spine. In that moment, we'll go take that mobility in through the hip joints. Really feel a nice release and opening through the spine. So take a few more pulses. Notice where it's sticky, where it's hypermobile, where it's tight, and see if you can smooth out the movement. A little equanimity, movement through the spine. Take one more pulse. And then return to stillness at center. And here we're going to move into the hips. So curl your toes under. Take an inhale at center and then circling around left hip towards left heel, over to the right, and back up to center. Continue. Follow your breath rhythm. So now we're bringing that nice, easy mobility into the hip joint. And again, you might notice where it gets a little bit bumpy. See if you can smooth that out. And often we can do that by slowing the movement down. And in the slowing down, we get deeper release in the body. Whoever it's a little bit tight has the opportunity to let go. The slower movement. Take one more circling around. And then as you come up to center, just pause right here. Inhale. Going in the other direction, exhale, take right hip to right heel. Tailbone back over to the left. Back up to center. Circling in this direction. This might be easier for you or more sticky. Always, one of the things I love about it is that we really get to move into parts of the body with greater awareness, isolating to each side, one area, so we can really notice where the imbalances are. Our body always seeking balance for its health, its well-being, so homeostasis and balance. Take one more circle around. Back up to center, and then point your toes back and come into the full child's pose. Forehead resting on the earth or something underneath it, bringing the earth up to meet your forehead. And then walk the hands forward. As you feel a nice lengthening in your arms, feel a lengthening through the spine. As the fingers reach forward, reach the tailbone back, even more lengthening. And walk the right fingers forward a little bit more. Just feel the potential as we explore our edges, right? There's a little more potential. Walk the left fingers forward. There it is, even longer through both sides. Take one breath here, inhale. And exhale. Nice, rising back up onto hands and knees. And we're going to curl our toes under and come back onto the balls of our feet. We're going to keep our heels floating. You can see the heels are floating. So we're not in squat yet. The heels are floating. We're going to lift our heels up. Just a little strengthening to our ankle joints. And then we're going to drop our heels down. Let your torso drop down. And you're going to feel a nice stretch in the Achilles and calves. Inhale, lift the heels up so ankle joints stronger. And then drop your heels down. And just one more. Lift your heels up. And drop your heels down. Beautiful. Lift your heels up as high as you can. Roll forward onto your toes and even feel a stretch to your toes. And then just come back. Your heels floating. Hands in front. Come back onto hands and knees. Bring your knees together underneath you. We're going to take our right leg back behind us. We're going to reach the leg up without lifting the hip. We're going to reach the leg up. Take a nice big inhale here. And exhale, knee to nose. Bring it forward. Just waking up the core. Inhale, take the leg back. Reach and lengthen. And exhale, draw it forward. Inhale, take it back, reach and lengthen. Exhale, draw it forward and bring it all the way forward outside your right hand. Turn to face you. Draw it forward outside your right hand. So our hands inside. You can take your left knee back a little bit further so you feel a nice stretch in the front of that left hip joint, hip flexor and psoas. And we'll bend our elbows so we come a little bit lower and we feel more opening through that right hip joint. Press into your hands and draw the chest forward a little bit more. We won't go far on this first one. And then exhale, take the hips up and back, lengthening the right leg and look down, maybe back towards your left knee. Inhale, Coming forward, we're staying low to the ground in our prana lunge today. Exhale, take it back. Begin to follow your breath rhythm. Nice, gentle opening through the hips. We've done that release. Now we're moving into the space. Before we add a lot of weight and bearing in the standing shape, just exploring as you open the hip joint, the movement through that spaciousness there. Taking one more pulse. And then slowly coming back to center. Root, curl the back toes under, just gives you a bit of rooting there, root into your hands so that you can take that right leg back and you're on the hands and knees. And we'll go to the other side. So now we're going to take the left leg back, reach the left leg back, lift it high. Exhale, knee to nose, curl it under, really squeeze it forward and you'll feel more core action if you like it. Inhale, take it back, lengthen and lift, and exhale, squeeze it forward. Inhale, take it back, lengthen and lift. Good, and then squeeze it forward, and we're going to do one more. We're going to do one more. Take it back, lengthen and lift. And now as you bring it forward, taking it forward outside the hand. And now we'll take, if it feels good for you, take that right knee back a little bit more so you feel that opening in that right hip flexor and psoas. So we're going to turn that front foot out, angle it out, and that'll allow you to dip into the hip joint a little bit more. And we're going to bend our elbows. So rooting into the hands, just see if you can draw the chest forward like just a millimeter. That's it. Nice, Leslie. That's it. And then exhale, take it back. Take it back, flow to the front toes and look back towards your right knee. Inhale, bring it forward. Begin to follow your breath rhythm. That's it. Nice, Kim. And exhale, take it back. Take it, follow your rhythm. So we're always wanting, when we're in the meditation in motion, to smooth out the movement. And if you feel that bumpiness, the key is to slow the movement down. So we want to go faster and just skip over the bumpiness. What will help the tension release, the tightness that creates those sticky places, is the slowing down of the movement. Let's take a couple more pulses here. And slowly returning to center. So now we're going to take that leg back. So we're back on our hands and knees. We're going to take our knees hip width, our hands shoulder width, toes are curled under. And if this is too much, we're going to come up to down dog, but you could be on your forearms for this. Remember, that's always an option, yogi's choice. Otherwise, we're going to take an inhale and arch our spine. And then root into the balls of the feet and the hands and lift up to a bent knee, downward facing dog. Keep the knees nice and bent. Turn your feet out and draw your heels in. A little bit of movement through the hip joints here. Let your knees go wide, tailbone towards your heels, just moving back, deeper bend in the knees. And then inhale, lengthening and come forward, just to what feels good for you. So in the down dog shape, playing in the hips, bend the knees, take the tailbone back towards the heels. For some of you, can almost come to the child's pose shape again. For some of us, we go back an inch. It doesn't matter. Just find a little bit of play through the hip joints. Just taking 2 more pulses here. And then slowly returning to the down dog shape. And in the down dog shape, take a moment, lift both heels, lift the tailbone high, And then begin to root the heels down. And now feel this stretch going into the calves, into the hamstrings, moving up the legs. Take a breath here, big inhale. And sigh it out. Now bring the feet together side by side. Root the left heel down and float the right leg up. You know, we're getting a nice inversion here. Lots of blood coming to nourish the brain. If you don't like inversions, just lift the head a little bit higher so it's more level with the heart. And take a moment here, lift the leg, bend the knee, and now let's enjoy a sweet opening through the hip joint here in our down dog. Look under the right armpit. Let the right foot be soft, the knee be high, big inhale. Exhale here, let that foot drop a little bit more opening in the hip joint. And then inhale, extend the leg back and up behind you. And bend the knee and bring that foot forward. You might need to help it. You might need to put your back knee down. Bring that foot forward. So we're in the high lunge shape. Turn to face you. Yeah, so in the high lunge shape, we're going to put our back heel down to the ground. Your front ankle is under the knee. We're setting up for our warrior shape. So really rooting into both feet equally. Keep the torso low and put your hands on your hips. Look down to that beautiful big toe and send it a lot of love. Take an exhale here. And as you inhale, slowly rising up. Very nice. Now notice if your hips are at an angle, or if we're going to turn them a little bit, you can move your front foot a little wider so the hips are more square to the front, just what's comfortable for you. And now we're going to play. We've got a little more going on here. So we'll add some deeper opening in the hip joints. Take an inhale, draw the breath up the spine. As you exhale, bend the front knee and sit a little bit lower. Good. Stay here. Inhale, draw the breath up the spine. And exhale, see if there's a little more play, a little more opening. Good. Inhale, draw the breath up the spine. Really hug your hands into your hips and see if you can sit a little bit lower. Beautiful. Stay right here. Float the arms out to the side. Palms face up. A little bend in the elbows. Hug the elbows in towards the spine and look up. Open-hearted warrior. Here we are. Open-hearted yogis. Take a big breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, float the arms up. See the palms touch overhead. And exhale, open to warrior two. So open the arms nice and wide. And we open to the side to warrior two. In warrior two, take your hands to your hips. So we're going to start here again. You want to see if you can look over that front knee and see your second toe in that foot, just if that's available. Weight equally into both feet. Hands are hugging the hips. Take an inhale up the spine. As you exhale, dip into that knee a little bit more. Inhale up the spine. Exhale, sit a little bit lower. Good. Good. That's it. Nice, Joan. Inhale, draw the breath up the spine. So we're nice and tall. And then exhale, bend in a little bit more. You got it. You could keep your hands on your hips or float your arms out, palms up. The shoulders are soft. Now bring the arms back. Here's our open-hearted warrior right here, looking towards the front hand if that's comfortable for you. Our full warrior shape. Inhale and exhale. Good. Root into the front foot, pressing into the front foot, lengthening. Look to center and bring your hands back to your hips. We're facing the long side of the mat. Our feet are turned in. Welcome to your pup, Daphne. Take a big inhale here. Look up. Open the heart to both pups. As you exhale, bend your knees and folding down. Our Parasarita shape. Hands come down underneath us. And again, just take a peek at your toes and see that your toes are turned in. And then as you are ready, walking your hands over to your right foot, bend your right knee and dip into that right hip joint a little bit more. And inhaling back up to center, walking the hands to center, and then over to the other side. And begin to go side to side. Again, we're seeking out that smoothness in the movement. Nice and smooth. Where it feels a little sticky, go a little slower. And if you'd like to add more weight bearing in to the hip joint as you're doing this, just bring your palms together under your heart. And even have your arms floating out to the side, floating the arms up so you feel engagement, strengthening in back and body. Take a few more breaths here. Slowly moving side to side. A nice, deep, delicious, I hope, opening, strengthening, stretching in around the hip joints. And then slowly come to center. If your hands are underneath you, make sure there's a little bend in your knees and take your arms wide. If they're already there, just float them up a little bit higher. Feel that beautiful engagement in back and body, supporting these wide open wings, wide open heart towards the earth. Inhale. And then exhale, hands come down. Let your head come down. Take one deep breath here. Inhale. And let it go. Turn towards your front foot. And then as you are ready, stepping back to down dog and floating that right leg up as you step back. Float the right leg up, bend the knee and open the hip joint. And again, just feel how sweet that opening is here. Look under your right armpit. Good. Right foot is soft. Right knee is going skyward. Inhale. Beautiful, very nice. Extend the leg behind you, lengthen and lift, and set the foot down. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, let it go. Child's pose for a moment. Well-deserved child's pose for a moment before we do the other side. You're doing great. And just notice each time we come into this familiar pose, sort of as a home base for today, that it gets a little easier, I hope. The hips a little more open, the body a little more warm. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. You can hang out there or rise up onto hands and knees, curl toes under, downward facing dog. Feet come together at center, rooting the right heel down and floating the left leg up. As the leg goes up, really root into that right heel and then bend the knee. Take that knee up and over, look under the left armpit. Sweet open. You can feel the heaviness of the foot and the leg opening that hip joint. And then take the leg up and back. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knee and bring it forward. And you might need to put the right knee down. Whatever you need to get that foot forward to set up for our warrior one shape here. So putting your back heel down, rooting into both feet and bringing hands to your hips. Your torso stays low, your hands are on your hips, both feet rooted, and then rising up into warrior one on this side. You got it. Good job, Lynn. Take that front foot over a little bit more as you need it. Hands snuggling into the hips. Just help us to open up a little bit more here. So inhale, draw the breath up your spine. And then as you exhale, bend into the knee. Just explore the edge. Yeah, good. Inhale, draw the breath up your spine. Exhale, bending into it. Good, one more. Tall spine, really vertical in the torso. And then bending into that knee a little bit more. You got it. And then as you're ready, open the arms, palms skyward. Press the arms back. So here's our back body strengthening. Hug the bottom tip of the shoulder blades into the spine. Then take your gaze up. It's from that support of the back body. The front body opens, open heart to sky. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Float the arms all the way up overhead. Palms touch. And then open to warrior two. So we're opening up to the side now. And in the warrior two shape, we're going to bring our hands to our hips to start. And notice, right, the gift of having the computer in front of us is we can notice a little bit more the placement of our body. Bring your torso vertical over the hips, right at the center. Take an inhale, draw the breath up the spine, get even taller, and then exhale, bend into the front knee. You might be able to widen your stance a bit more. Inhale, up the spine, and exhale, dip in. One more, inhale, up the spine, and exhale, dip in. Stay here, open the arms, palms to sky. Turn your gaze towards the front palm. Draw the arms back so the bottom tip of the shoulder blades are still hugging in here. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Good. Lengthen your front leg. Turn the toes in, hands to your hips. Inhale, open heart to sky. Exhale. And just let it go here. Turn the toes in. Hold opposite elbows. Crown of your head towards the sky. If you're not doing an inversion, just have your hands on the earth and keep your head and heart at the same level. Let's take one more breath here. Deep, full breath. Exhale. Taking the hands to the earth, turn towards your front foot. And as you are ready, we're going to take it back to down dog, bringing that left leg up and over. Feel that sweet opening through the hip joint. Looking under the left armpit, big inhale here. And exhale. Extend the leg up and back behind you. And set the foot down, full down dog. So one big beautiful stretch here, inhale. Sigh it out. Let it go. Child's pose. Knees really wide as they've been all morning. Wide hip, wide knees, open hips, forehead to the earth. Let your arms come back by your side, palms face up. Just take your head side to side. Nice little massage to the frontal brain. Find that sweet spot of center. In the stillness, simply breathe. 2 more breaths. Beautiful quieting at the mind, lengthening the spine, opening in the hips. Once you're ready, taking the hands under your shoulders, coming up, crossing your ankles, bringing your legs forward. We're going to come to lay down, so have such beautiful puppies, Daphne. Have your goodies nearby. Take your hands behind your thighs. Good to have something to go under your head as we're coming down to the earth. Take an inhale here and exhale, either arms at the side or hugging behind your thighs to help you come all the way down onto the earth. And as you come down, hug your knees in. We're going to start with the knees side by side, hugging the knees in. And then keep the knees hugged in. Bring your hands behind your head. Just interlace them behind your head. Press the back of your arms into the earth. So you're going to feel again the back body strengthening. Hug the bottom tip of the shoulder blades in as the arms press back. Keep your right knee hugged in and extend your left leg along the earth. If you were worried that we were missing more core action, no worry no longer. Hug the right knee in and reach the left heel away from you. It's hovering just above the earth. And then switch it up. Draw the left knee in and extend the right leg. And the closer it is, like you could even touch your right heel to the earth, there it is. And then bring it up just a tiny bit. Switch it up. Hug the right knee in, extend the left leg. And the more you hug that right knee in, you'll feel the upper abdominals work. And the more you reach out of that left heel, you'll feel the lower abdominals work. Or you'll feel which needs more strengthening and switch it up. Left knee in and right heel away. Keep pressing the back of the arms down so the back of the neck stays long. Switch. Hug the knee in, reach the heel away. And switch. You're doing great. And switch. Just a couple more. Switch. Left knee in, right heel away. And switch. It's the last one. Here we go. Switch it up. So left knee in, right heel away. Press the back of the arms into the earth. And then draw both knees in. Keep your arms where they are. Draw both knees in. Flex the feet and begin to press the feet away from you just till you feel a nice engagement in the core without fully lengthening the legs. Keep a little bend in the knees. When you feel that nice little shaking going on, stay there. Press the back of the arms down into the earth. And feel a nice engagement in the core. Keep the feet flexed. Just taking one more breath. Inhale. As you exhale, press your belly button down into the earth. Feel even more engagement. Awesome. And then draw your knees in. Well done. Well done. Half pigeon. So let's set the left foot down to the earth and take your right ankle just below your left knee. Hug your left knee in. Right arm is threaded through that little space between the legs. You can use your right palm to press your right thigh away from you. Give you a little bit of a deeper opening. If you like, you can float the left foot skyward by really choosing as many different options in this half pigeon shape. So choose what feels best for you. You can hug behind your left thigh. You can hug your left shin. There's even a variation where you can hug your right shin and extend the left leg. So just as we take about 5 more breaths here. Play with the variations. So you feel a sweet opening in that right hip joint, the right buttocks will also a nice opening stretch. And see if we can return to that longer exhale. Hip joints, huge storage depots. As tension, tightness, sometimes trauma. So that exhale, that long exhale, releasing whatever's getting stuck there. More ease of movement, walking, tensing, swimming, cycling. And one more breath here. Longest exhale yet. Let it go. And releasing your hands, we're going to take it over, legs coming over to the right. So if you like, you can keep your right ankle where it is so that that right leg wrapped around the left can help lower. But if that feels like too much, that can really take the twist quite deep. If that feels like too much, then just take the legs side by side and even place something in between the legs. Open the left arm, chin to the left shoulder. Take your right hand to your top thigh and help anchor the legs down to the right. You can even take your left hand to your left side ribs and draw them down to the earth. I think that feels good, just helping guide your body deeper into the twist. Or you can just let your arms be open at the side, nice and soft. More breaths here. Long exhale, letting go. Next one. If you're ready, come back up to center and hug your knees in. And then take the other side, so right foot to the earth, left ankle just below the right knee. And then find your version of half pigeon. Hold the back of the right hamstring, the right shin, the right leg might go skyward. You might press the left thigh away with your left palm. Hold the left lower leg as you extend the right. Whichever shape you've chosen, settle into your breath, lengthening the exhale, longer exhale and inhale. And exhaling through your mouth. If your hips are especially tight, exhaling through your mouth will help with a deeper release. Just makes that exhale a little more potent. 3 more breaths. As you are ready, opening up to go into the twist, taking the knees over to the left side. Again, that bottom leg can be hooked on the top, and that will help you go deeper into the twist. Your hands can help, your left hand to your top thigh, your right hand to your right side ribs. Or just let the arms be open and soft. 5 breaths. One more breath here. As you're ready, coming back to center. And the knees, a hug in. Wrapping arms around the knees, hugging opposite elbows, nose to your knee, hugging in, deepest, most beautiful, most loving hug ever. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then open up to Shavasana. Open up to Shavasana. Support under your knees. Let your knees be wider than your hips. Let your arms be wider than your shoulders. Palms face up. Really enjoying these long exhales. As you inhale, draw the breath in And then long exhale, letting the breath go. Inhale. Long exhale, letting the breath go. Inhale. Long exhale. Turn to natural breath. Support that's underneath you, and just as we've done that long release of the breath, the letting go, let go into the support. Give yourself permission for a few precious moments. Let go of all effort. No need to move, no need to think. Just rest, simply breathe, simply be. I invite you to rest here a little longer. Like if you have the time, please rest here a little longer. We've gone deeply into the hips, and this resting time really helps integrate what we've done into your body, into your being. If you need to complete the practice or feel like the practice is complete for you here, just begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Float your arms over your head and do a long stretch. But if you do have the time, please do rest here. If you've stretched, then draw your knees in and hug them in. Roll to your side. From your side, rising up. As you rise up, let your eyes return to being softly closed, and just bring warm palms to your heart, and just checking in here at the end of our practice, back full circle to where we began. Just notice the gifts of the practice. Felt the openings, the awakenings, the calming. Whatever you notice here. Gratitude to each of you, the gift of coming together, the honor of guiding you through the practice. May we live in peace. May we share loving kindness. And may we recognize a friend in each other. Namaste.